Hi there, I hope you are having a wonderful day today. My name is Sarah, welcome back to my channel. I know I look very disheveled because I am, but I am at the end of a wear test and I didn't film an intro. So here we are. I really don't have very much makeup left on my face. Sorry, you know, I don't want to break your phone, but we're doing a wear test with the new NARS Light Reflecting foundation. It's got advanced skincare benefits, and here in this video I'm doing a first impression, which I did a couple of days ago, and I give you kind of like my rundown, my really like initial thoughts on the product. I try it with like some of my favorite staple products. I let you guys see how they work together. I tell you about my experience. And then we also move on to a full wear test, and I did do check-ins throughout the day, as well as, you know, a final wrap-up at the end. So if you're interested in seeing any of that, then just keep on watching. Hello guys! If you would have heard from the intro, this is going to be the first part of this video. We're going to be doing a first impressions application of the new NARS Light Reflecting Advanced Skincare Foundation. Now, this is what the bottle looks like, and it does come with a pump, but this is what happens when I just try to get it off. It's kind of a pain, but what can you do? At least it comes with a pump. So this is the shade that I got. It is a medium at 3.5, and it is Van Altu, maybe? I probably pronounced that way wrong, but let's just go over a little bit about this foundation first before we, you know, get into putting it on my face. So this foundation right here is supposed to have a medium coverage level and a natural finish, and it is an advanced makeup skincare hybrid foundation with a natural finish that blurs and smooths while visibly improving skin's clarity over time. Which honestly, I'm down for that. Anything with skincare ingredients, I am all for. You know, do it while you're young. Maybe it won't be so bad when you're old. Because I know I definitely can't afford fillers or Botox, so gotta get it where you can. And I'm looking just on Sephora's website just to see if I see any like details that you guys might be interested in. So it says that it visibly improves the clarity by reducing the appearance of redness because of a highlighted ingredient called biomimetic oat, which I've never heard of that before, but that's cool. It has a Japanese lily turf, which supports a strong skin barrier. That's awesome. It's supposed to help with moisture. You guys know my skin is super dry, so I definitely need all the moisture I can get. And then it also says some other things to note. This is a breathable, medium coverage, buildable foundation that quickly conceals redness, blemishes, and dark spots while blurring the look of wrinkles, pores, and texture. Alright, let's see what happens. Just to quickly go over, you know, like my skin type and all. My skin is dry. I don't have normal skin. I have a very dry skin. To the point where, you know, I have rough textured bits that are just like dry patches of skin. I really suspect that it's eczema on my face, but we're just gonna say that it's very dry skin, and it's my entire face. So that is something to note, and like I said, I do have texture, so I'm sure, you know, if it's highlighted by this foundation, I will zoom you in, you will see it. But let's go ahead and start with the initial first impressions application of this foundation. And so it says to shake well. So I'm shaking it up. I don't want any mishaps, no bumps in the road today. I got stuff to do. We can't have it. And I'm gonna take probably, 2 pumps. And I'm just gonna put it on my face. I mean, it's not too bad of a match for my neck. I feel like it's a little darker than like my Dior foundation that I love. This is going to be really good in the summer. I'm glad that I picked the shade. It could have been real bad. I thought that this was going to be a little bit on the lighter side. I just went in and got an extra pump. I feel like that 2 pumps probably was not enough for my whole face. And like I said, I thought that I was ordering a shade. I didn't order it, I had my husband grab it. I thought he was picking a shade up for me that was gonna be a little bit too light, but I'm glad. This makes me happy. I'm glad that we're going to, you know, match a little bit. And then also with my fake tan and everything, you know, I'm always like 50 shades of tan. I am going in with this little sponge. This is from MOTD and I really like it. I use it a lot. So I have experience with this tool. It's never let me down before. It's always been a great little sponge. I don't feel like it picks up excess product weird or anything like that. And this foundation, guys, so far, I'm really liking how it's looking. It's blending out super easy. It might be just a touch too golden for me. It said olive undertone with this specific shade. I don't know, maybe once I've got a little bit more of a tan, maybe it'll look better, but we shall see, right? Okay, so this is how we're looking with one layer, completely one layer. It's not like dried down at all. Not really, not yet, so we'll see. But I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit so you can get a little bit more of a better look at how it's sitting on some of my texture and like the pores right here in the center of my face. So we are zoomed in as far as we can go now. So I don't know if you guys can tell. Let me turn it this way. I did just adjust some lighting really quickly just so you can get a better idea of how it's sitting. Like right here, you see I have a whole bunch of like a little bumpy skin, and that's just like my dryness. But it is sitting on it pretty well. It's not like when I back up, you really can't tell, and I'm looking in the mirror. I don't feel like it's accentuated anything. Like it says, light reflecting and blurring, like it looks really good. And it's not sitting horrendously around my nose. If you have been around here before, you know that I often talk about how my nose doesn't like product, but it seems to be sitting really well. I really have no complaints yet. And I had some redness going on over here. It's covered things very nicely. I'm gonna go in with like half a pump more, and I'm gonna go in some targeted areas like around my nose. I've got my birthmark here. I want to see what the coverage can be built up to. I know it said medium, and I feel like this is like one layer, solid medium. Let's see if we can build her up a little bit more. Okay, like I said, I'm getting a little bit more, like half a pump. I don't want, ooh, that was almost a whole pump. And we'll work with it. And just got it right here. Get myself a mustache. I'm going right here because I can still see some dark spots. Go over where I have some redness. Got a little blemish up here. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna take my sponge and just see if I can build this up. Okay, so I added some more product. I mean, really, I feel like the blemish looks a little bit better. The redness looks a little bit better. I don't see as much of my dark spots over here peeking through, which that's cool. I'm happy about that. It didn't completely build up to enough coverage to cover up my birthmark, but that's fine. Neither here nor there. I don't really care. But just as like a point of reference, I do have that mark on my face. You can see like the coverage level with it. I feel like it's a handy little tool, you know, whatever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the rest of my face. I'm not going to do it on camera, but I am going to come back and I'm going to let you guys look and see exactly what's going on. I'm going to tell you if I had any issues. We are going to, I'll probably have this on for a little while, so I might do some check-ins with this initial first impressions. But tomorrow, like I said in the intro, which you would have already seen, I'm going to be doing a more extensive wear test with this foundation. Today, I'm just slapping it on, seeing what works with it, seeing what, you know, maybe might not be the best, and using that information to adjust accordingly. So I will be right back. Alright guys, so this is what we are looking like probably like an hour after application. Just for reference, if you're curious about any products that I'm using, I'll go ahead and go over that with you. So for my setting powder, you guys know I only set underneath my eyes besides the bridge of my nose. Also concealer. I used my Radiant Creamy Concealer from NARS. I really feel like they pair wonderfully together. This is just a great concealer anyway. And then the Kosas Cloud Set in Cushiony I found was a very good color match for me in this foundation. I was a little shook, but I used this powder to set underneath my eyes, down the bridges of my nose, or down the sides of the bridge of my nose and my little folds. And I think it looked very well. Yeah, I think it looked very, very good and paired very well with the concealer and the foundation. They played real good together. No complaints, you know. I didn't have any, you know, places where it was picking up product or anything like that. So I was definitely happy about that. The next product that I went in with was my Vive Bronzing Duo. This is what it looks like, and I chose this specifically because I knew I was going to be using a cream blush. And this formula, it works so great with cream products on top. I know they say don't mix creams and powders, but I can tell you this works very, very good with cream products. And when I was applying it, the one thing I can say, initial first impressions about this foundation, is that it doesn't really have a very fast, like, full dry down. It stays a little tacky. Like, I'm touching my chin right now, and I'm getting product off on my finger. So if you're somebody who, you know, wants something that's not going to budge around a whole bunch, maybe set your whole face with powder. I mean, I wouldn't really do that anyway, just because my face is so dry. But if you're looking for longevity in this, like first impression thoughts, I would definitely say powder everything. And the reason why I'm mentioning this now is because when I was going in with my bronzer, I did find that it was lifting up a little bit, just with my bronzer and bronzer brush. It lifted up a little bit on my cheeks. Nothing too serious, nothing that I feel like makes it look absolutely horrible. And my lovely little child caught me on my face right here, and it just like wiped off. So food for thought. It's not very stable by itself. It definitely needs some help with some extra products, whether that be like some powder or a gripping primer. Like I said, tomorrow we're doing a more in-depth wear test with this thing, so I think I'm going to try a different priming combination, something a little bit more grippy, maybe like, I don't know, the NYX Do Me Up, or not Do Me Up, Honeydew, or something. It's something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's a little bottle. I might try that tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. And then going further with the other products I used my Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette for the cream blush and the highlight in it. So these two products right there. This cream blush, I feel like it just went on beautifully. I don't really ever have any issues with it. I don't feel like after the fiasco with my bronzer, I don't think anything else lifted up, at least not that I could tell. And the highlighter applied beautifully. I mean, it does what a highlighter does. And do I feel like I have some more accentuated texture now? Yeah, but I mean, I use highlight as like an all over like blush bronzer topper. So that's totally to be expected. I'm not ragging on that. And from what I can see, like forehead wise, I'm looking because I do have some fine lines and texture right in here around my hairline. It's not settling extremely weird. It's not emphasizing any of those lines, like right in here is where I have them really bad. I feel like it said, it's very smoothing. It's like the light reflecting creates like this illusion of these imperfections not being there. And that's what I'm really liking about this foundation. That and, you know, the added skincare benefits. So I'm really interested to keep using this. I want to see, you know, how it performs over time. Like I said, it's been about an hour or so, so it hasn't been too long. I don't know if this is like gonna break down weird or anything like that. I don't have oily skin. I don't know why I just went like particularly. I don't have oily skin. I have very dry skin. So we'll see. I feel like my pores look very minimized, but the primer I used today may have something to do with that as well. I used the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. I'm not sure if that one has claims of like pore filling or anything, but it's the same consistency and texture as their pore filling version, so I can only assume that that's probably aiding the foundation. So like I said, tomorrow we're gonna see. We're gonna go, we're gonna test it some more, and we're gonna check out the longevity, the mask wearing, and all that stuff tomorrow. So that's it for today. I may come back a little bit later on in the evening and do a check-in. I'm not sure yet, but if I'm back, I'm back. If I'm not, I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. It's Monday. It's been a minute since I did the first impression for this foundation, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the wear test today. It's like, I don't even know what, it's 5:15 in the morning. I'm getting ready for work, so I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity to do a wear test. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing I did last time, tell you what products I'm using like base wise. I'm gonna apply the foundation, and then I'll come back once I have everything all done on the rest of my face. I'll give you like an update. Do I think everything's working together nice, or do I think there's some mishaps? And then today we're also going to be doing check-ins. So I'm working from 7 a.m. to 1:30. So we'll do a check-in when I get to work, maybe on my break, and then when I get in the car, and then when I get home, and then I guess before I feel like taking the makeup off. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm using my liquid silk canvas from Tatcha to do some priming today. The more I use this, the more I kind of like it, but smoothing primers and pore filling primers really just like, they're not my jam. So it is kind of like one of those things where I'm using it to kind of get it out of my collection. If I was going to be repurchasing a smoothing primer, I'd probably choose this one because it's just like, it's so good and it feels nice on the skin. It doesn't have that weird texture that Benefit Professional has, you know, that like slippy silicone-y feeling. I mean, it feels smooth and silky, but it doesn't have like that weird silicone-y texture like that other stuff that I just mentioned. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to go in with as far as like primer. Beforehand, I used my Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream and this Tony Malloy stuff. I put this on when I first got up, and it's the Watermelon Dew All Over Serum 50% watermelon fruit extract. I mean, it smells good, whatever. I don't know if it's gonna be like a repurchase type of product. It's one of those things I got from Ipsy, guys. Sometimes it's hit or miss. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the usual, spread it out with the finger, and I'm gonna go in with a sponge. I like ebb and flow with how I apply my makeup. Sometimes I'm like so into using a brush. Like this time last year, a sponge, I would have like looked at you completely sideways. Me using a sponge to apply my foundation. I used to totally be a brush girl, but you know, things have changed a little bit. One thing I can say about this is this stuff feels, it's so thin, like the consistency of it is super thin. And it's like thinner than even the Dior foundation, the Dior Forever Skin Glow that you guys know I love. Like that's my all-time favorite. But it's thinner than that. I really like the finish. Like it's a natural finish. But like it says, light reflecting, oh yes. When I'm at work and I like catch myself like walking past a display and I like happen to see a mirror, like my whole face shines. So I mean, if you're into that, this is great. If that's something that you maybe like, maybe think about that before trying it. But so far I really like it. Do I know necessarily if it will become my new holy grail? Probably not. I just don't know yet. I've worn it once to work already, so I kind of like have a sense of like longevity, you know, what I can do to make it last longer and everything like that. And honestly, it doesn't break down too bad. It has really good lasting power, in my opinion. I'm going with like, I hate this NARS pump. I always pump out too much, like half a pump. Just build up some of the coverage in some of these spots. Get to my chin, because like I have like this whole white patch where my tan didn't go up all the way, but that's my own fault, you know, being in a rush and stuff. And that is how we are looking. I didn't use too much. I used like 3.5 pumps for my whole face, which is pretty like normal for me. Dior, I used 3 pumps with, and I mean that's pretty much like the only foundation I wear right now. Yeah, I need to get better about using the rest of my stuff. It's just like I love it so much, and I just love the way it looks. If I would have just bought that first instead of everything else, then I wouldn't have the other stuff in my collection. I would never like made the purchase. But you know, we're here now. I need to use that other stuff up. So you'll be seeing a lot more drugstore stuff on my channel here shortly. But I just used my Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have the shade Cafe Comanche, if you're curious. And I like that because it's just like light enough to brighten, but it's not too much of a difference in tone. It's like the perfect color. I will say that I don't really like this concealer all that much. And excuse me, I'm not picking my nose. I got issue, remember? Stuff doesn't stick. But yeah, that's why. My nose. I do not like it around my nose, but we're here. Gotta do what we gotta do. I really do not enjoy the concealer around my nose, but under my eyes, I really like it. So it's like a catch-22. And I'll be real honest, I do not have the patience to use 2 different concealers at once. Like, I can't even tell you how, like, low-key irritated I am that I have to wear makeup every day. But, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just going in with my CoverGirl translucent pressed powder to set my under eyes. And because I do want this to last, and I'm going to be wearing sunglasses in the car, I'm really making sure to powder where my sunglasses are going to set. I'm really just setting down some heavier powder on the sides of my nose where I know they're going to be rubbing, because yesterday, I was off yesterday. So the day before yesterday, I was wearing sunglasses on the way home. And I mean, granted I had been wearing the foundation for like 5 hours, but huge marks on the sides of my nose, like unblendable. You could not blend those out, like product completely removed. So just for the sake of time, because I will be here running my mouth to you for a while, I'm gonna stop. I'll be back when I finished everything else, and I'll just give you a rundown what I used and everything. And then, like I said, throughout the day we'll do check-ins. Alright guys, this is how we're looking. My whole face is done. I just have to go finish getting ready. I'll just go ahead and let you know what I used real quick. I used my CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil, my Kosas Air Brow Dark Brown. Then for my bronzer, I used my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Deep Bronzer. I used, what is this? This is the Half Caked in Bloom blush. This is the shade, I think it's called Freshly Squeezed. I'm wearing that. And then I'm also wearing my Pat McGrath and Bridgerton highlighter and incandescent gold. Yeah, incandescent gold. I'm wearing that. And then on my lips, I have a NYX lip liner in Stockholm. And where'd the gloss go? The gloss is the Lifter Gloss in Topaz from Maybelline. On my eyes is just my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I use my Bite Upswing and Maybelline Tattoo Studio in dark brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and go, and I will see you guys in a little bit to do some check-in. So it is 2 o'clock. I'm using my phone. This is natural lighting. I am disheveled. I just got off work and I'm at the post office. But I'm doing a little check-in for you guys so you can see how this foundation has lasted throughout my shift. So as you guys can see, bunching on my nose, definitely, I told you guys earlier, it just doesn't sit good right here. But that's like most things. The only thing that does really good is the Dior. And then this situation, like, I don't know, can you tell? Like, all day. My dry, flaky ass nose. It's just been like crumbling. Bits of dead skin and makeup. It hasn't been fun. I really don't like how it wore on my nose. Everywhere else, I feel like it's worn very nice. I just wore a mask to go in the post office. I don't wear a mask at work, but I try to wear a mask everywhere else. And I don't know. Guys. This might be like a foundation that you just want to look good for a couple of hours, but I've had this on since 5 o'clock, and I think that's about a 9-hour wear. And I mean, it's worn very well for 9 hours. My only complaints is my nose. That's it. Just my nose. Everything else looks good. So I don't know if this would be like my regular work foundation. I think Dior might still steal the show there, but I don't know, guys. Give me your thoughts and tell me what you think about this foundation and what it looks like. I mean, overall, I still like the finish. I like the effect that it gives. And I mean, wear time, I didn't notice it start to break up around my nose until I went on my break, which was about 11 o'clock. And that's when I noticed it. So that at that point had been 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That had been 6 hours. So about 6 hours in, it was starting to break up on my nose. And I'm not somebody who's oily. I didn't get sweaty. I didn't get hot. Nothing. Nothing. Like, there is no oil. My face is dry. Dry. Nothing. And I used a setting spray too. I use the same setting spray that I've been using, and I mean, it works pretty well. So I don't know. This happened the last time I wore it, and I didn't film the check-ins or the update, but yeah, I'll probably keep this makeup on for a couple more hours just so we can get like a full feel for how kid-proof it is. I mean, let's see how easily they're gonna like wipe this stuff off my face. And I'll see you guys in a couple hours. I'm gonna go home. Okay, I'm back home. And I wore my sunglasses from the post office to home. So let's see. Okay, so there's Def makeup on the inside of my sunglasses. They're filthy, don't judge me. And a good bit of wear. It just like picked up the product. And like you guys saw how much powder I laid down on my face this morning. So even with a whole bunch of powder and a whole bunch of setting spray, it's still lifted. And I mean, it's noticeable. Like, you can definitely tell that there's product missing. So something to think about with this foundation if you wear sunglasses and such. Alright guys, so it's the very end of the night. I have been so busy, and I took a little nap today. So this is what's left. Basically some mascara, a little bit of my brows, and remnants of my eyeshadow. I have like a little hint of a bronzer, hint of a blush left, but everything like on the exterior parts of my whole face is basically gone. It did not stand the test of time and children. And all around my nose is gone. Really the only things that are left is like under my eyes, maybe a little bit in between my brows, and like right around my hairline. But this is how we are looking at the end of this wear test. It has been a very long day. I think I started at like 5 o'clock this morning. Yeah, it was 5 o'clock this morning when we first talked. So yeah, guys, I am going to go. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this little foundation wear test with me, and I'll probably do more of these in the future, you know, as I try different formulas and stuff. But I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up before you leave. It really helps my channel out, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.